It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for season 11 of The Walking Dead. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at some brand new behind the scenes photos from the set of season 11. We talked about a few of these, but since I did my last video, they released a few more behind the scenes photos, some of which are actually extremely interesting. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community. We're actually on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content, subscribe to help me get there. Last but not least, press the bell to be notified when we upload on the channel. With that out of the way, let's dive right into it. So these three photos were the pictures that we originally talked about on the last video. I'm not gonna talk too much about this. Obviously, we have Mercer, who's the commander for the Commonwealth military, the new community that we're gonna be introduced to in season 11. We have Eugene wearing some sort of a uniform, and then he has blood all over him. Now what's interesting is that the uniform he's wearing is definitely different than what he was wearing the last time we saw him. So this is something that the Commonwealth made him wear for whatever reason. I did speculate on my last video that this could be possibly because the Commonwealth forces newcomers to wear this as they're going through the process of being admitted to the community.
If you are deemed a threat, you will go through reprocessing.
What's reprocessing?
If you're not a threat, then you have nothing to worry about.
And what's interesting is that we have another picture which you saw in the thumbnail where we have another character wearing the same sort of uniform. We'll get to that in just a sec. But the next photo is actually this photo of this female character wearing what appears to be a cheerleading outfit. Now, there's two ways they could go with this. This character could either be the girlfriend of a pretty big character that we're gonna meet from the Commonwealth, the leader's son named Sebastian. It's also possible that they may be doing a remix in the TV universe where the leader in the TV version has a daughter instead of a son, and this girl right here is her daughter. They could go both ways. At this point, I'm leaning more towards this being Sebastian's girlfriend, but they could obviously remix it and have this be the TV version of Sebastian. They could make her like Sabrina or whatever. But again, I'm leaning more towards this just being Sebastian's girlfriend. Now moving on to the new pictures that they released. The first one is actually this pretty interesting picture of a bunch of walkers as well as the exact same female character that we just saw wearing the cheerleading outfit. But we also have another character wearing what appears to be the exact same blue outfit that Eugene was wearing. So that's extremely interesting. Just like Eugene, she has blood on her uniform as well. So obviously all of them are probably going to be in an action sequence where they kill a bunch of walkers. And I forgot to mention the female character wearing the cheerleading outfit also has a lot of blood on her. Also, Mercer can be seen in the background, so he's also gonna be in this particular scene, whatever it is. I'm assuming it's some sort of an action sequence where there's a group of people surrounded by walkers and they're gonna have to kill the walkers. The other very interesting thing is that we see a lot of buildings in the background, which I'm assuming are buildings around the Commonwealth. I don't think we're inside the Commonwealth because, as comic readers know, the Commonwealth itself is very much like a modern town. And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna make it feel a little different than what we see here. The other part of it obviously is that in the comics, when the survivors are first getting to the Commonwealth, they come across Sebastian, his girlfriend, and Mercer. And that takes place around the Commonwealth, not actually inside the Commonwealth. So I'm assuming that this is the TV version's adaptation of that. And this is gonna be when we first meet Mercer, Sebastian, and Sebastian's girlfriend for the very first time. We also have this picture right here of the exact same female girl that we saw in the previous image wearing the blue uniform, and it looks like she's killing a walker. Now this looks like it's just a fun shoot. I don't think this is what actually happens, because this looks a little too goofy, to be honest. So I'm assuming that this is just posing for a behind the scenes picture rather than something that actually happens in the episode. And last but not least, one of the most interesting pictures is this picture right here. We have two characters with their backs to the camera. Character on the left is obviously Mercer. He looks pretty badass, and I just can't wait to see him in action. Of course, Michael James Shaw is portraying the character of Mercer. But on the right hand side, we see someone wearing a blue suit, which is extremely interesting. Comic readers can probably tell who this is, but if you don't, the character on the right hand side is probably none other than Lance Hornsby, who is the bookkeeper for the Commonwealth community. He's actually very much involved in the process of who gets into Commonwealth and who doesn't. Now what's very interesting is that fans of the comics originally thought that the person that we saw in one of the bonus episodes of season 10 was Lance, the person that interrogated Princess. But obviously we weren't sure, because in the comics, Lance doesn't wear a military gear uniform. He wears a suit, just like this guy. So there's two ways they could go with it. Either that guy was Lance and he just changed into civilian clothing when they got to Commonwealth, or that wasn't Lance and we're gonna meet Lance early on in season 11. He's gonna be the one that's gonna take the group to the Commonwealth. In both cases, I'm definitely extremely excited and interested to see what they're gonna do with Lance. In the comics, Lance wasn't really a very interesting character. I feel like he was underutilized a little bit. So I'm hoping in the TV version, they're gonna make Lance a more interesting and complex character, more than he was in the comic book. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go through with these behind the scenes photos. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community. Again, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber and like what you see, make sure to subscribe to help me get there. Last but not least, don't forget to press the bell to be notified when there's an upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.